This is the Hitscan Hyperlight, the first mouse release from the brand Hitscan that was initially announced like a year ago on Reddit. Since then there has been some drama related to this mouse release, and the factory copied an early version of the shape and sold it under the brand ATK with the sole reason of undercutting the market, which is a thing some of these Chinese brands do. But here we have the actual Hyperlight, and it is actually something that I can consider one of the best releases of this year. Well, let's start with the shape, and this is a really good small mouse with a nice rear hump that is pretty much in the same size category as the Viper Mini, or for example the Akitsu from Arbiter and Vancer. I don't really have anything that this feels similar in hand with, but I can say that with my 17.5 times 10.5 centimeter hand, this mouse feels incredibly comfortable to claw grip. The sides are also pretty flat profiled and have lots of space for your fingers, and that is why many people consider this to be an extremely good fingertip grip mouse as well. The main buttons have nice comfortable finger grooves that are not too aggressive, but they still offer a very nice locked in feeling. One of the main focus points was also the sensor position, which is a bit on the front part of the mouse, which is something you might need to adjust a little, but it is something that, at least for me, makes aiming feel more accurate, and for me this mouse probably feels the best to aim with currently. On top of the fantastic shape, we also have this slightly rubberized, very grippy coating that is kind of a fingerprint magnet, but personally I just love how grippy it is. The build quality of this mouse is pretty unreal. With the weight of only 40 grams, the mouse manages to have an incredibly sturdy upper shell that doesn't have any flex or any creaking, and even the main mouse buttons have a very minimal side play. The bottom is also mostly open, which is where some of that weight reduction comes from, and as you can see, there are also some amount of holes in the PCB to also act as a weight reduction. With these holes under these gates lies the only issue I can come up with this mouse, and it is the same detail that Final Mouse was criticized about, and that is that the adhesive of the battery can gather some dust to the holes. Of course, if you use the largest gates that comes with the mouse, the issue is no more. But yeah, it still baffles me quite a bit how they have managed to make this so rigid with such a low weight, with such minimal holes, and even the shell doesn't feel that thin, and they even have a coating on here, which is another couple of grams. So yeah, this build quality is truly something that I didn't expect from this mouse. On the bottom there are two buttons, the DPI button and the power switch, and the power switch is pretty much the only part you can hear any sort of creaking on this mouse. And straight out of the box, the mouse has no skates installed, but it comes with two sets of very good stock skates, which are basically X-ray pad jades. There is a smaller variant and a larger variant of the skates, which I have both now worn out on a glass pad, hence I have now switched to some dots on it now. But yeah, even the stock skates are super good on this mouse release. For the switches, they use the Omron opticals that are implemented really nicely on this mouse. They have a very crispy and a nicely light actuation with a very minimal pre-travel. The post-travel is slightly more than on some other implementations of the switch, but it is still not bad at all. The side buttons are okay. They have a nice gap between them, and the scroll wheel is also okay. Maybe slightly rattly at times, but nothing that really annoys me. The scroll wheel button is also nicely in balance with the scrolling function, so I have no accidental pings with this mouse. Performance wise, there is nothing to talk about really. The mouse has the same top tier performance as most of the other recent mouse releases, like the Lamzu Maya X for example. With the 8000Hz polling dongle, that is sadly a separate $25 purchase, the polling stability seems really nice as well. I have been rocking this mouse with 4000Hz polling, and in Apex everything seems very smooth, and the mouse really just feels an incredible experience to use. With this mouse everything really comes together for me. Like, the shape is fantastic, the build quality is top tier, coding is really good, clicks are crisp, performance is really good. Even the price is, I think it's very reasonable. So yeah, I am very impressed with this mouse release. But the mouse costs $90 without the 8000 Hz dongle, and with the dongle the total is $115, which is honestly still a very good price for this kind of build quality and performance. And I believe if you buy this from Hitscan's own store, everything over $100 comes with free shipping. So yeah, it's not that bad. I'm very impressed with this mouse, and it is probably for me the best small mouse release of 2024.